thank God, first of all, that we are still together after the Civil War that came in shortly after our independence. And another reason for thanking God, among other things, is the fact that we are still practicing democracy. No matter how checkered it is, one would say with these few positive remarks, that we are moving. But unfortunately, there are still indices that point to the fact that more needs to be done, especially when it comes to the governance of this very great nation. 58 years of independence should actually be marked with a certain level of maturity and development, because one who is 58 years is really grinding to old age. But in a nation, it's still a very young age to talk about, a young period, 58, because you expect us to be over 100, 200, 300 years practicing democracy. So I said there are some worrisome events. It has always been so. No system is perfect, anyway. But when there is persistence in a particular way of life that does not really help the development of a nation, then there is big cause for worry. I've always maintained, for those who are talking about restructuring, meaning by that a question of telling everybody every different sections to attend to Israel. That's not the problem. The problem is having a common ideology that would help a nation to grow. Because disintegration is not the solution. But the way it is going now, and the little insensitivity that we experience on those who should actually be controlling it, is what is troubling everybody. So many are even questioning whether the elections of 2019 will still see Nigeria as one. Yeah, so many people will say that has always been the kind of prognosis that the elections will disintegrate the place. But this time around, it is more imminent in terms of feelings of people. We have complained so many times. Every section of the society has complained about the style of governance. 2015, we heaved a very big sigh of relief that there's going to be a change, counting on the antecedents of the president and the big yen, the big support he got. Without blaming him much, but at the same time blaming him to some extent, that very hope has been dashed to the walls, because we do not feel that enough is being done to check the security challenges we have, the dwindling economy. Just last time, the officials of CBN are warning that if Nigeria does not take time, we shall slip back to our usual problem of financial and economic recession, because we're taking so many things for granted. And what everybody's thinking about, especially the leadership, is the maintenance of the status quo. That is rotten. So, and that is where I said, every year we have one challenge or the other. But this one is becoming very, very, very worrisome, because We are not just talking of the insurgency, you are talking of headsmen, you're talking of community conflicts, you're talking of all kinds of economic crimes coming up here and there. It's hydra-headed. We don't know from where to begin. So at 58, we are wondering where we are going. Over this. Where are we going to? You know that we have this popular Igbo word that tells you, "Pempen do kampempong." So in spite of everything, that we are still alive is worth celebrating. It's worth celebrating, and that we can still talk over issues. You see, I said we are still in democracy, or in a democratic system, in spite of all the shortfalls, all the shortcomings, but we are still discussing. So it is something we have to thank God for. There are some African nations where it's no more possible to discuss. They've taken arms and are killing one another. So that is one thing. You see, the issue with Nigeria is that people see problems, they shout about it, they raise all kinds of alarm about it. But God, in a way, tries to now make us not to pick arms easily against one another. So what we are celebrating is the fact that we have kept together for 58 years. It is worth celebrating. There are other things, in spite of the economy being bad, but there are other growths in the areas, certain areas that we should be happy about. Yeah, people always talk of this film industry, although, you know, I have my own reservation about it, but it's still helping the economy and helping the people. So at least that we are still together as Nigeria. You know, people may not appreciate what it means that a nation is together, in spite of our ethnic and religious differences. There is always an advantage in a mosaic life, not a straight-jacketed and monotonous life. The fact that we're all together, sharing our differences together. Some great nations like America really rely on that, because they have every part of the world sustaining the economy of North America. If we can even begin to, tap the positive aspects of our diversity, that would be something wonderful. So when we are saying we're together, those who are clamoring for division, they don't understand. Yeah, they don't understand, you know. There is strength in number, and there is strength in oneness. Yes, yeah, you see, leaders determine the path of followership, you know. That's why I think so many people really blame the political class, in the sense that they are supposed to know better and represent the minds of the people. That's what they're supposed to do. But I would, in another turn, blame those being led. Because, yes, those being led, the followers. Because if those being led are very conscious of their rights and obligations, they will not allow those leading them to be doing whatever they like. That's we stand up and say no. You see, I said that God has, in a way, created us that we do not really stand up too hard to say no. Probably it's positive, probably it's not very positive. Moreover, we feed the poison that kills us. If there is corruption, this corruption is not just being practiced by the political class, but it is from those being ruled. I remember in this country, as a young man, that people bemoaned 10% kickback. Every 10%. That if you, when it started coming in and it became a little bit more institutionalized, people said no. People were saying it shouldn't be, that you get 10% of whatever contract, 10% of whatever thing we are going to. I mean, unofficially, people were kicking back against it. But today, what is happening? And that's why we're talking of a worsening situation. We are not talking of 10%, we are not talking of 50%, we are talking of a tripling whatever cost that is going to be used in the development of any part of this country.
And still not delivering.
And still the whole thing is not delivered. The concept of padding budgets is now a common thing. So who are the ones feeding this poison? The electorate, those being led, the citizens. Because if it were only a thing that is with the political class, it wouldn't find its root in our society. But because we support it and we feed it, as I say, it's feeding it, then it's taken. So I wouldn't now totally blame the political class, in as much as I said, they are the pathfinders. But those of us who are being led, or because maybe I'm even in the ruling class as a leader of a church, but the one should be able to say no to certain things by rejecting these things in the common life of the society. But when a parent goes to school and gives the child money to pay for expo, what is he doing? What is this parent doing? You're already feeding the system. When you join other people to give money for employment, you are promoting the system. And of course, the political class or the president or the governor can only act as one. He is not the foot soldier of his policies. The foot soldiers are citizens of the country who now deliver. So it has to be probably, we're 58 now, it has to be a common determination for change of attitude so that things can get better. Because if I'm blaming the other person and in my own section I am doing exactly the same thing, there's no way anything can work. So to some extent we can say yes, if you get a good leader who is determined and who knows that human beings are toys, like Napoleon says, and a toy can be used anyhow. It's like a puppet, manipulated anyhow. That's why I blame leaders. They are not doing their best. Then let those led now begin to now counter and give what should be the normal way of life. Contradicts what the leadership is doing wrong. So I will not totally blame the leadership. I blame the whole citizenry.
Okay. So finally, my Lord, what's your message to our people? Both the leadership and the followership, all those citizens of Nigeria.
Well, first of all, let us thank God that we are still together. In spite of everything, some may not buy the whole idea, but let us thank God first of all that we are together, and let us not lose hope. There will be a better Nigeria. And we, on the religious level, have always believed that God comes to our rescue in difficult moments. God did it in difficult moments. So I want us to be very positive. But then, on our own, like I said, may we do one thing or the other to check the evil that is devastating this country. Those who are leading, maybe some of them are doing their best. Let us decide as Nigerians together to better the condition of things in this country. It should be a collective effort. It shouldn't be just a thing left to a group. But as I said, let's remain positive and hopeful that Nigeria will be better. As I said, 58 years for a normal human being, old age, but for a nation, very young. We still have time. God will help us.